Ah, attendez, parce que je me... Attendez, parce qu'il y a mon aide-soignant qui est pas... Est-ce que vous pouvez m'aider? Ouais, voilà. Parce que c'est de... Ah non,
visiblement, ça ne marche pas. Eh ouais. Père Patrick, vous n'avez pas perdu la main.
Est-ce que vous pouvez couper le... Ah!
On va regarder un sujet sur la...
I don't know how many years on this earth I got left. I'm gonna get real weird with it.
Hey, Dad!
Don't judge me, this is art!
It looks like he may commit suicide. Suicide is badass.
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
What the fuck is that? Bigfoot. Oh man, look at him.
Come on, you motherfucker! Oh, shit! God damn it! Same shit, different day!
One last thing. If you have any drugs or any alcohol, give me some.
Oh my God, what the hell? Oh my God, punch my mama in the throat, karate kick my daddy in the chest. What the fuck? Oh my God. Oh my God, what the hell? Oh my.
Yep, that's right.
Hi, everybody.
The fucking Google, what do you call it? Google Home. Arguing that goddamn bitch. Finally got tired and just pulled the plug. I was like, stop. I don't understand. What do you want? Blah, blah, blah. Starts playing music. Fuck you.
I don't blame you. That thing gets on. That thing, oh my God. I've heard those things can be very creepy.
Well, yeah, I mean, everything spies on you now. Every fucking thing. Everything spies on you. Why do they? You know, it's my running hypothesis, I suppose, that they're collecting mass data, feeding it into AI so they can essentially predict human behavior, the stock market, reactions to news, and you know, they're running the long game on mind control. Only it's not forced control, it's their fake behavior to make causation with our behavior.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, and a lot of people don't even realize that's what they're doing. I mean, and they'll argue with you against it.
Powerful niggardry at work here.
Yeah, there is.
That's what's happening. Okay, speaking of that, I guess then we'll go straight into it. Disney's Christmas Snow White special look trailer faces fresh backlash. I know I'm not retarded. Isn't that worded oddly?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it looks like it could have been better written.
Disney's Christmas Snow White special look trailer. Okay, moving on. The trailer drew another massive wave of dislikes and negative comments, reflecting on an ever-growing discontent among potential audiences. And I'll get to the trailer in a moment. Just going to read a bit more here. 35,000 dislikes against 4,100 likes out of 276,000 views. This pattern tracks with the Ration. Okay. Established by the teaser trailer released in August, which received over 1.4 million dislikes.
That's a lot of dislikes.
I'll go ahead and play it before I get to reading anymore here.
And now a special look at Disney's Snow White in theaters everywhere March 21st.
My father told me long ago I braved a bitter storm of snow. Is that a girl I'll ever know again?
Gotta pause it right off. I'm like, oh yeah. YouTube's like you can't play that, even though you can play it for yourself. Other people can play it, but if you like rebroadcast it, oh no. So let's just take this volume out. Just imagine a bad actress singing badly. Maybe you can tell by my expression of what I think of this.
I was I know, me too. It's like, what the hell is this? Oh my goodness.
I want to look at some of the comments. Yeah, I'm waving around this pinkish looking thing, but they make these vapes in faggy colors, unfortunately. I don't know why so many of them are pink. Is that many of the LGBTQ people? Well, what the fuck am I talking about? Of course, they love sucking on things. I'm just trying to vape, so maybe I'll die of something other than lung cancer.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think vaping is healthy for you, but I believe it may take longer to kill you. So,
yeah, there is that.
It's all a bunch of pink shit. Okay. Snow White. I don't need no man. Snap. Prince Charming. Don't flatter yourself, shorty. I'm here to see your stepmother.
Oh. Oh.
Spare a thought for poor Gal Gadot, who has to master the biggest acting challenge of her career, pretending she is envious of Rachel Zegler's Lord Farquaad look. Farquaad, he was in Shrek. He had the bowl haircut.
Oh, yeah.
End of this movie should be the Queen and the Prince lived happily ever after. I will only watch this if the Queen get to live happily with the Prince. I only wish for this movie to be buried and forgotten or erased completely. If not, I hope the evil Queen wins.
I think the evil Queen is beautiful. I can't help it. I think she's beautiful.
She has a nice face, but she's a little skinny and flat. Okay, while the trailer itself is fine, Rachel Zegler has become a lightning rod for criticism, particularly due to her hot takes on social and political issues. She is labeled the original Snow White as misogynist and has made polarizing comments regarding Trump supporters, stating, "May you never know peace." Even going so far as to troll her co-star Gal Gadot, which I don't know how she did that, but for anybody to go, "May you never know peace." I mean, really? First of all, are you trying to be the evil queen? And how megalomaniacal do you have to be to say such things?
Yeah, she ought to be ashamed of herself.
Disney's creative decision have also faced scrutiny. Early images of the Seven Dwarfs, which featured a multiracial cast with only one actual dwarf, sparked outrage among advocates for dwarf actors. And yes, they did this. And then past that, they went on. One mighty midget. I find it insulting to call them little people. I mean, if I was one of them, I'd be like, call me midget because little person. That feels insulting. But one midget, the Lord of the Ring, Game of Thrones. You remember his name?
I think it was Peter Dinklage or something like that.
Yeah. How the fuck are you gonna be a dwarf and have a name like Dinklage?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so instead of then hiring dwarves, he threw a little bitch fit. It was like, no, you're disgracing our people, our kind. They didn't bother. There's like a national council of people with dwarfism. They didn't even bother asking them.
Yeah, I mean, he just cheated them all out of a job.
So then we get goofy little CGI dwarves, which they get the whole movie is like, no, don't call them dwarves. You know, it's Snow White and the Seven Dwarves.
Well, I mean, the Snow White story is a very old story, and that's what they were known as.
Says with one actual dwarf sparked outrage among advocates for dwarf actors. So yeah, there were a lot of dwarf actors. Is that insult? I mean, to me, if that midget would feel the least insulting thing is like, hey there, dwarf. Hey, little person. But to me, midget just is the only term that doesn't feel insulting.
Yeah, I mean, the term little person or dwarf kind of feels degrading.
When you go, hey there, little dwarf, and they go whistling along with their pickaxe, you know. I mean, okay, but for the sake of the movie, it is dwarfs for the sake of the classic tale, which they do not equate with midgets. They happen to have shortness in common. That doesn't mean, you know, that's like these dumbasses equating Drizzt Do'Urden, whatever his name is. You know, since he's what do you call him? Dark elf. What do you call him? Drow.
Drow, yeah.
Since he's a drow, he's like, we have an issue. He can't be black without being black. These people are idiots. You know, dwarves are not necessarily midgets.
Yeah, they're their own race. And the drow elves, they're not really black. They're more of a purplish
Well,
color.
they can have a solid black or a purplish tint. I mean, it's like black people and white people come in different shades. So do them. What the fuck? Oh. Okay, that's all I have for this. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to say. I mean, you know, you got singing Dirt Brown here, and I call her Dirt Brown. It's not a put down, but she's not Snow White. She's not, you know, white as snow. She's not that.
No, she's not.
She's you know, like a dirty blonde tone or a light dirt tone.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dirt brown seems to fit.
Yeah.
You know? Instead of Snow White.
But Snow White was supposed to have black hair and blue eyes and really, really pale skin.
Okay. Seeing as how Snow White has 7 CGI dwarves, maybe she stumbled in a cave and ate some mushrooms because she was starving and hallucinated the rest.
I like that theory. It fits. I like that
Now
theory.
She's seeing all the animals come around her and birds land on her hand and little dwarfed people, whatever you want to call them, cleaning the house, and all the while bear was coming back to the cave ready to eat her.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. But, you know, it's just, I don't understand. It just seems like the more they do this kind of thing, these actresses and stuff like that, it looks like the harder their movies would flop. But they're still making them. Looks like they would learn something. you know.
I don't think they're capable. I mean, all the classic talent of yesteryear is dying off and being damn near cast out of society because of their whiteness or whatever. The new talent, the modern talent, are from a different generation, a different mindset, and yet more so of an echo chamber, if that's even possible, because even back then they were in this big old echo chamber, right?
Well, I gotta say, what new talent? I mean, dear God, we got a Spider-Man that looks forever 12.
But occasionally they will do something right, but I mean, it's rare. It is rare. Kind of like the X-Men 97. I didn't like, the non-binary character trying to screw Wolverine through the whole season. That was beyond ridiculous. That was disgusting, and to me, it might be your secret little thing if you're turned that way, but not all of us are.
It was cringeworthy.
Okay. Besides that was a really good season. Like I said, occasionally they'll hit on something right, but that's such a rarity.
Yeah, it's like if ever they do hit on something that's really good, they can't keep it. They can't maintain it, you know.
They have to insert their message in.
Yeah, I mean, they might not have.
They're a bit obsessed with insertions.
Yeah, I mean, they may not have a problem getting a good idea, but keeping the good idea, that's what they have the problem with. You know?
Well, if you listen to people who's ran productions and all, they essentially say, oh, it was smooth sailing and we were doing good up until this person joined who had a problem with this and wanted it this way, or until this group intervened, until we started getting protests, and and that's when it all goes to hell. And usually they quickly go bankrupt after. I mean, after all, look what happened to the Chucky TV show.
Yeah, I was very disappointed about the last season of
It
Chucky.
became about a killer doll possessed with a killer soul. From that to two boys' sex life. Two boys who they were portraying as quite young. It was full on disturbing.
Yeah, it was very disturbing.
That's not what I meant by horror. That's not the kind of horror I want.
Yeah, it was very, very disturbing. But,
there's another one for you.
Oh, they're just silly with it.
Look, I got sound effects here. I might as well use them.
Okay.
Oh, I'm done using them now. Shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had some more. But, yeah.
Of course, I have more, but what am I going to sit here and play with sound effects? Like, oh, here's another. Okay. Tenet, and I don't know what that is. I've never heard of it. Tenet star John David Washington doesn't want to play Batman, but would play the Joker if he was from Compton or something. Clearly, you see the issue, right?
Yeah.
I don't mind whatsoever if they want to introduce a Batman type black hero, or I don't know, even a villain that's a black man to Batman. I don't care. But when they're taking over roles, that is role replacement, not role swap. It's role replacement, because rarely do they change it back again. Now, it says there, John David Washington is one of the most talked about actors of this generation and could be poised for stardom in the superhero genre. I have never heard of him.
I haven't either.
Well, I am a bit removed from this generation, but still, I've generally heard of anybody who's poised for stardom in this or that. If the right role comes along, he'd undoubtedly be shortlisted by either Disney or Warner Brothers. Oh, but of course, it would be by one of them. We've got a great Batman right now, Rob. That's short for what was his name? Pattinson. Whatever the case. No disrespect, he said to Josh Horowitz on a recent episode of the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast. Happy, Sad, Confused. That is today's generation. Happy, Sad, Confused. The second generation actor added rather playfully that he would consider playing an iteration of the Joker as long as the character has one specific twist. You know, if there was a, you know, a Joker from Compton or something, south side of Gotham, south side of, you know, Chicago, you know, I would explore it, he said. Isn't he playing hard into a stereotype there? Which I know there's a lot of black people like, so what? We can do that. But then there's, you know, you find them on a different day and they'll be like, you're stereotyping us and we're sick of it.
Yeah, I mean, they can't have it both ways. And I think
I follow a good many black YouTubers, and I do so because I agree with them. I even, you know, I like them as a person as far as what I can make out of how they are from their channel, which, you know, you can only surmise so much. But point being is, I'm not like, oh, it is a black, you know, I'm not doing that. But I agree they should quit playing in the stereotypes. You look at white people. White people have a stereotype, obviously. But not every white actor is playing it.
Yeah, that's very true.
Not every white role is about, this is a day in the life of a white man. That's silly. Why are they doing it?
I mean, I don't know. I kind of see what they're saying here is like them making fun of their people.
In a sense, it could be that way. I could also see an actor going, yeah, I want to play one from the ghetto, and yeah, I could get it. But you know, I kind of think they need to look at the larger picture. You know, you take one of the most popular characters ever and go, I'm gonna play him like he's from the ghetto. You're setting a real bad example for the character and what you're making it, which is black coded.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. Story wise, imagination wise, I get it. I do. But in the end, it's a bad look on everything they're trying to do.
I think it's just it would be in poor taste.
Let me play what
you told me.
It's just 2-minute clips. So I'll let this play.
Once you're a big Batman guy, dream Batman character. Are you Batman? Do you want to play Batman or a villain?
We got a great Batman right now, Rob Pat.
Buddy,
no disrespect. Yeah. But you know, if there was a you know, a Joker from Compton or something, or south side of Gotham, south side of, you know, Chicago, you know, I would explore.
Were you a Marvel DC kid growing up?
I mean, Tim Burton's Batman was like, well,
I don't know.
was all about. And then obviously Chris Nolan took what he did with it. But yeah, I loved Batman. I had the toys. I had the Batmobile. I didn't know why, but I just loved Michelle Pfeiffer, her outfit.
Great costuming.
The costuming was on point. She was really a character. Yeah. Shout out to Michelle.
I'm with you. I skipped school to see Batman on opening day, the Tim Burton one. I did. And here I am. It worked out. It's fine.
Both of us.
Now, did Dad tip you off that Ryan Coogler's writing a Black Panther role for him?
I'm not gonna. Listen. He's on. I love like what he's doing right now, promoting the film and promoting the Gladiator. I don't know where that came from. At least that's what I'm gonna say on the stage, okay? But I do know he's not gonna retire. We don't want him. I know I don't want him to retire. We don't want him to retire. Yeah, that's true.
So,
Yeah.
is it an aspiration to act with him? Like, is that something that's
I mean,
on the list?
the right thing. The right thing. I don't know. I might be a little too intimidated. I don't know.
I think
Let me think about it.
you can handle it. Pauletta, I don't know if you can handle,
Let's
but
go. Let's go.
You're muted.
I was saying you get the gist of it. I'm generally considered white, even though I'm a mutt. But the white people I encounter, they talk about themselves and they talk about their lives, and I can't relate because I don't think I grew up that white.
I don't think so either.
I mean, in comparison, well, my story is quite the nightmare, and I'm not about to delve into that. But in comparison to damn near everybody I've ever met, is like they'd look at me in disbelief and go, "Oh, well, that can't be right." But besides that, let's say the side things, little details, does not fit your average white person. Me growing up, it fit hard country, ghetto, this, that, whatever, right? It doesn't fit your average white man stuff. So honestly, I don't really relate to that ghetto or white people. I don't relate all too well to most people because my story's so drastically different.
Yeah.
But with that being said, it's not like I can't recognize where they're coming from and what they're talking about. I recognize it. I just don't relate with it.
Yeah. I noticed that interviewer that was sitting in that chair, he was sitting like a lady.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of men do that now. It kind of started in the 2000s probably. Or it might have even been in the late 90s. Men started singing like that, and they didn't used to. They never did before. And every time I quit bringing it up, because every time I bring it up, the men they get so pissed off, so mad, and and then they go, "Oh man," and all this bullshit, right?
Yeah.
I don't get it. That used to be how women sit. Now it's how men sit.
Well, the reason why I'm saying that is because clearly he's flirting with that other man.
I got that sense a little bit. I don't know how strong that might be true, but I got that sense a little bit. But I've seen supposed straight men, look like they're flirting. I mean, I don't know if it's some unconscious bias or what's going on there. All I know is I grew up in a time and place and financial status where men were like mad bulldogs, They didn't do nothing but fight, fucking work. The end, eat. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now, which I don't believe things should be that hardened. No, I don't. But that's what I grew up in. And now I see men, they're soft and squishy and whiny and all this bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't believe things should be so hardened as they once were. But we went too far. You need to turn the fuck back.
Yeah, I think it needs to be somewhere in the middle, not too much one way or the other.
Like, I've met too many adults to count now that never been in a fight. Grown men. When I was coming up, I got in on a light day 10 fights a day. And it's not like I went around picking fights. No, everybody wants to test your mettle. If they'd heard that you were tough or you were bad or whatever, they'd want to jump you. Now, I'm not saying things should be that way. They absolutely should not. But these people were full grown, never been in a fight. Fighting's essential. It's part of survival. It's something you should learn in your youth without a doubt. And I don't mean getting pounded on. I mean, you learn to defend yourself. And I just don't really see that much anymore.
Well, I think a lot of that goes to the fact that maybe there's something missing in their
Yeah,
their
their
genetic
balls.
makeup, where there was this I think I remember reading where sometimes cats get that where they won't hunt, they won't kill a rat or whatever, they don't want to fight anymore.
Well, yeah, there's that. Supposedly, this a cat gets a parasite to where it doesn't want to kill the rat, and it becomes more passive. And they say that passes over to humans. I've been around a lot of cats. I mean, I've had a lot of cats. Not so much anymore, but I have. Never passed me like that. So I don't know. Maybe maybe some people get that. Maybe that's the case.
But whatever the case, I think if they wanted to create a black character for the Batman world, that's perfectly fine. But to take an existing character and race swap it like that, that's just that they're doing that too much. I mean, they should leave that alone.
I was talking about how I grew up. If I really got to talking about it, people would think I was nuts because it would sound like a scene out of a old Western. Like those outdoor wash tubs. And I had a lot of siblings, and then they'd put all the boys together to wash in a big wash tub, and then all the girls, and and that kind of thing. I could go on, but the point is if I started telling my story, you would swear I was describing old Western.
Yeah. Or back in the Depression.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Now these motherfuckers grow up and went. I had a PlayStation 2 with 20 games, or whatever the case may be, right? And I had some Nikes or Reeboks or what the fuck ever. And it's like, ooh, hard times indeed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about something I don't really know anything about, but it's news. It's newsworthy, I suppose. Final Fantasy, what the fuck with numerals that? 15, 16, what?
14.
Final Fantasy 14 player counts predicted to drop below 1 million after disastrous Dawn Trial expansion. Everyone's been in this game. Everybody's like, play this game. Everybody from WoW left it, and it's the best thing ever. Even Gabe Newell, I believe is his name, that makes a Valve, makes a Steam Deck. He even touted it as being a big player of it. I tried it. I tried it 3 times for that matter. I didn't care for it at all. When I play a MMO, I like old sword and sorcery feel. Like kind of like, I don't know, like Conan or classic D&D. But this just felt like a cartoon anime with a bunch of cat people.
Well, I tried it, and for me, the scenery was really well done, especially in the cities. But once you got out of that and got into the field, basically,
also the fighting, the combat was awkward as fuck to me.
Yeah, me too, and I didn't care for that, so I didn't play it anymore.
I mean, I guess they took some influence from classic Final Fantasy games where you're standing here and the enemy's standing here, and then click, select that, attack. Maybe they took some influence from that, whereas I was used to a little bit of more real-time combat. But says their player count is expected to drop below 1 million after they released the Dawn Trial expansion back in July 2024. Japanese website Lucky Banco revealed the following. I'm just butchering the shit out of this. Revealed that following the release of Dawn Trial, player counts contracted from 1.4 million to 1.1 million. And for the biggest MMO out there, that's really saying something. One Reddit user noted only 39% of active players returned for patch 6.1 after Dawn Trial expansion. 39%. That means 61%. Unless I just got that wrong. I don't know. 61%. That patch, that expansion came out, and they're like, nope, I'm out. How bad must that have been?
Yeah. That's really bad. I'm wondering if they put a bunch of DEI stuff in it or something.
Oh, there's a little bit of a description in here. And it's not quite DEI, but it's like something they do when they do DEI. We have Daxonar. Web
Hi, Dax.
sensibilities. Explain that one. I must have missed out.
Oh my goodness. But
Looking at Steam database charts for the game, the release of Dawn Trial did see peak concurrent players nearly break the all-time peak, hitting 92,000, just shy of 95,000. However, since then, the concurrent player count fell. By September, it was only hitting peak concurrent below 30,000. So from 92 to 30.
Jesus Christ, that's a big drop off. That's huge.
Okay, Dax, you're gonna have to elaborate further. I'm not down with the lingo. I'm old, remember? The Dawn Trial expansion was heavily criticized by players on Steam. The game currently has a mixed rating, and recent reviews are mostly negative. One player wrote Dawn Trial's writing, specifically the character writing takes such a turn from previous expansions that the character I spent the last couple of years adventuring with feel like cardboard cutouts of themselves. So yeah, Dawn Trial isn't canon. Speak to what Lama. I don't fucking know. For more information. Others were much more harsh. Have you ever played D&D where the DM has their own self-insert, wish-fulfilling character who follows your party everywhere and takes the spotlight whenever he can? A game where the story is not about your character, but the DM's character? Like I said, that sounds like DEI shit. I don't know that it is. I don't know. But it sounds like the kind of thing they do.
I just can't get over. I can't get over how big of a drop that was. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that
you don't have to wait on me to call for you to say something. It's like we're the only ones here other than Daxonar.
Oh, I know that. I was just trying to put it into get my thoughts in order. But that's such a big drop off. It looks like they're going to have to do something drastic to get the players back.
This player says it feels like it was written by an AI. I wouldn't be surprised by that.
Everything's being written by AI now.
Okay. This kind of makes sense. It says, Daxonar says, you see Noise, a weeaboo, what the fuck ever, is considered to be an American who greatly enjoys Japanese media, often to an extreme content. Yeah, I'm tripping up on saying everything tonight. To be fair, in the 80s and maybe the early 90s, I enjoyed classic anime movies. And then when anime got more, I don't know, girlish, cartoony, silly, I dropped out of it. When it got to be its own stick, its own meme, its own, whatever. Yeah, I kind of dropped out of it. Back when it was like drawn with high frame rate, and graphic and great detail to the artist. I mean, they were just amazing, right? I was into it then, but we're talking decades here. So yeah, I'm not anywhere near into modern Japanese media.
Okay, so an American who greatly enjoys anime to an often extreme extent. I don't even
Hey,
want to.
is that UW or UWU?
It's uwu.
Fuck. Look, I guess I'm too old for the shit that people go on about now. we have JJJ Jr. Junior.
Hi.
Which he is a longtime supporter, and I'm very grateful to have him here.
But it just seems to me like all these big games, people are really starting to show them how much they hate them by not buying them anymore.
Well, people are moving away from MMOs in general, and things do okay. Way back, people were busy. They got up, they put their clothes on, and they were out the fucking door working. They didn't have to work. They'd go help their neighbors and friends work. And they didn't stop till it was bedtime for the most part. With that being said, somehow things feel busier now. Whatever the case, I think people are more and more realizing they don't have the time sink, they don't have the time to invest in these MMOs.
I think a lot of that goes into people having to work more jobs and stuff just to make ends meet. People are constantly having to go to school and work, and there's just not enough hours in the day for a big MMO anymore. More people are casual gamers now. Because you know yourself, we knew people that would spend 8, 10, 12, 16 hours a day playing an MMO, and you just don't see that anymore.
I really should let some of my handful of fans, I should let some of them come on and co-host at some point.
That'd be fun.
So it's not just you and me doing all the talking. Yeah, we have Star and Phoenix on here too, but they're not big talkers.
Yeah, that is true. But I think that's what it is. The economy has changed to the point to where they're constantly having to work to get by, and they just don't have time to play games like that anymore. That's like a game I used to play was Dungeons and Dragons Online. Some of those fuckers on there would spend all day and all night on it.
DDO, as they call it, because they gotta abbreviate the fuck out of everything. It's a very old game, but I still enjoy it. The problem is you join a group and they're like min-maxing. They're like, do it as quick as possible, and you gotta be overpowered as possible. And then they will sit and do fucking 6 and 8 hour sessions of just straight running dungeons. I'm like, don't you motherfuckers gotta piss now and then? Don't you gotta like stretch your legs? It's like these streamers who are on there for 8 hours at a time is like, fuck, are you dead from the waist down?
Yeah.
Don't you need some food? Don't you need, I don't know, some sex or something?
Oh God. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I mean, and what I hated about joining a group in DDO was the fact that they would run through the dungeon, leave you behind, and all the monsters from the whole fucking thing would come and kill you.
And then bitch at you like you did something wrong.
Yeah, they bitch at you like you did something.
I've played New World a little. I didn't really get into the social part of it. I played Elder Scrolls Online. It was a similar experience. They're just too big of a fucking hurry, and everybody's too overpowered and all this shit. You get min-maxing everywhere you go, essentially elitist. WoW was just ate up with that shit. Not to mention they'd be like, faggot, I'm gonna kill your family or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't play games for frustration. I play for fun, so fuck this.
But you know what? The granddaddy of all of that was Conquer Online. Oh my God.
Ooh, that game. You were fueled with vengeance. It was full on PvP. Well, it had a PvE element too, but you might as well say it was pure on PvP. And yeah, it was about making your character as godly as possible. And of course, it ate your money. It ate your money like everything. But you were so you would get PTSD from that game. You were so fueled with revenge killings.
I mean, yeah, and the thing is we knew people that their marriages went bust because of that game and everything.
We knew people who lost their homes. They're like, brick homes and lost their wives because they couldn't stop playing that game. And it was just a 3/4 down, top view, fairly simple graphics game.
I just, oh, and remember there was a sound that these things, they had meteors and Dragon Balls. And there was a specific sound that they made.
Anyone watching, do not come anywhere near the game Conquer.
Oh, God, no.
It will eat your soul.
Yes, it will. It will. And there was a specific sound that these items made when they dropped. And when they dropped, everybody in the map would go to the area to try to fight other people to get them.
Okay, speaking of soul eating, The View to launch a new weekend edition for ABC News Live this month exclusive.
Oh, no, not these bitches.
ABC News is taking even a little bit more time to enjoy The View. The long-running daytime chat show is set to expand to the weekend starting January the 11th. I got more on this. Just give me a second here.
These bitches. These harpy bitches. Oh. I can't. I loathe these women. If you can even call them that. They're harpy bitches. That's all they are.
I thought I had more on it, but it seems the bookmark is gone. Which probably for the better. I don't really want to think about these creatures.
They're harpy bitches. they're harpies. It's just, well, no, I don't want to give harpies a bad name, but I don't know. I don't know what to call them except harpy bitches, I just don't know what to call them other than that. They're horrible.
So moving on. Nexus Mods explain why they removed the Marvel Rivals Donald Trump as Captain America mod. Nexus Mod issued a lengthy statement as to why it decided to remove a mod that depicted Donald Trump as Captain America from Marvel Rivals. I get it. If you're a big Trump supporter, I get it. But in reality, I think Trump would have a heart attack.
Yeah.
And shit, Biden's a puppet that they just puppet around. He's a rotten corpse.
He's one of the Walking Dead. He can't form words anymore. I mean, and the thing is I kind of have a problem with them putting any political person in a video game. It's just, I don't know.
I'll get into it. Unfortunately, some of the content uploaded to the site becomes a magnet for conflict, division, and mob harassment. Okay, maybe. I mean, depending on how you look at it, I guess. But here's the funny thing. When you have the mod, other players don't see your character looking that way, just you. So that kind of kills their argument now, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if only you can see it, what's the problem?
Okay, JJ. I'll say that for short. Yeah, I get that. You can't afford to keep your PC up to date. I get that. But they do have these streaming services now, so there's that.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just feels weird having a political character in a game.
In essence, here it says they're just executing one of their existing rules by not including political stuff, which I'm okay with that. But what they do have is a lot of nude mods. And again, other players don't see it. They see what's in the mod store and it's like, oh, I don't like that people can choose that one. You know, why strike down political driven stuff but keep pure straight nudity, especially on some of these characters that damn near look like children?
Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, if they're going to do that for one set of mods, they need to do it for the others too.
Says, while we have the right to choose what we host on our platform, we are not the authority on what you do or do not decide to mod into your games, and these mods can be found elsewhere on other sites. Yeah, fuck them. Go find another mod site. Quit giving them any business. I don't like censorship. No, you don't want, I'll abbreviate it, you don't want anything CP, to do with children.
Yeah.
And there's certain things you don't delve into, obviously. But with that being said, I don't care for censorship. Some I understand, some I get, some I agree with. But largely, I don't agree with censorship. We should be able to do, we're adults, we should be able to do what the fuck we want to do.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it don't hurt anybody or anything like that, what's the harm? You know?
The company then linked the 2020 blog post detailing that it was banning all U.S. political mods. Only U.S. and they're not a U.S. company. They're a U.K. company. We've decided to wipe our hands clean of this mess and invoke an outright ban on mods relating to socio-political issues in the United States. They're like, fuck you, Americans. The company added, we have neither the time, the care, or the wish to moderate such things. This ban will apply to all mods uploaded from the 28th of September onwards. We will review this restriction sometime after the next president of the United States has been inaugurated. Why then?
Oh, I think I get it.
That's fishy.
Yeah, I think I get it. I think. I could be wrong.
Ironically, Nexus Mods blocked the author of the article for simply questioning why were the Donald Trump and Joe Biden as Captain America mods for Marvel Rivals removed. That's a childish, shitty thing to do. Somebody ask a question, you're banned.
Oh.
Fuck that. Yeah. Go use a different mod, company or whatever the case may be, website, because fuck these people. I mean, I get it. They don't want to get politically involved, but what they're doing is clearly pointed and childish.
Well, yeah, they're being childish because they said they'd revisit the issue after the president had been inaugurated. Why then?
Here's a picture of them asking the question. There's the image of the block.
Oh, that's just childish. I mean, I'm betting what happened is a bunch of LGBTQ people got on there and started bitching, and that's what happened.
I found The View bookmark that I had lost track of.
Okay.
Disney doubles down on its support of The View, even as the group calls for Sunny Hostin's removal. I don't know how to say that name. In a shocking move, the Walt Disney Company announced just days after one of its most controversial The View episodes that they're expanding the show rather than curtailing its damage. This move comes amid significant controversy, particularly surrounding co-host recent remarks by Sunny Hostin comparing the January 6th event to historical atrocities like the event of World War II and historical slavery. No one was okay in the January 6th thing. I think didn't somebody die, right?
I think so.
But it sure doesn't compare to World War II or slavery.
No, it doesn't.
It's insane and obscene to do as such. The perspective was met with backlash from various commenters and organizations, including Stop Anti-Semitism and CNN Scott Jennings, who condemned the remarks as inappropriate and offensive. My talk is a little off because my lips kind of busted. Went to the dentist, got shots, went numb. I ended up chewing my lip up, not feeling a damn thing. So now I'm talking a little funny.
Well, he was right.
Had Condoleezza
I'm going to let this play for just a little bit.
Rice, I believe, on this very show
Context.
saying, you know, we need to move on from January 6th. I say no. You don't move on because January 6th was an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, you know, like World War II, things that happened, you know, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery, we need to never forget.
All right, so
that's the context of some of the things that was said on The View. I happen to take offense to everything they say on The View.
Yeah, everything.
They are some of the most hating motherfuckers in existence.
Yeah, they are.
And not just that, but they add the whole feminist spin to everything. This strategic move raises questions about Disney's stance on the content and commentary presented by The View. By extending the show's reach, Disney signals endorsement of its host and their perspectives. Critics argue this approach prioritizes entertainment value and ratings over sensitivity and responsibility, which is ironic seeing as how this whole DEI push, right? But now they're like, fuck your sensitivity. Comparisons like Halston's are seen as diminishing the gravity of historical tragedies causing distress among communities directly affected by those events. The decision to expand the platform of the show that engages in such contentious commentary can be interpreted as a disregard for the concerns of these communities. How about of humanity? Humanity. After all, we all have that in common. Black, white, gay, straight, man, woman, we're human.
No.
Yeah, she did. She did indeed. World War II and what was that other?
Systematic slavery, I think.
Oh, and slavery. She compared January 6th with World War II and slavery. Oh, that ugly ass harpy thing. I'm not saying that because she's black. No. You know, the thing is, I actually liked Whoopi Goldberg when she was in the movies in the 80s and 90s doing comedy. But damn, somebody gave her a mic.
Yeah. I told you they're harpy bitches. They're harpy butches.
See, my viewers are tuned in. They know what the fuck they're talking about. I don't mean just tune in the show. I mean they're tuned in. They got it down. They know what's going on.
You know what? If I had the money, I would buy a spot on NBC. I would buy a spot on NBC for us to do a show. We wouldn't tell them what the real show would be about. No, we'd wait till we got on camera and we'd do a show. And we'd have the spear chucker guy on there. You would be on there. I would be on there. And we'd have various guests every week. What do you think?
I would rather launch my own network. Maybe start as an online thing. Then you fake it just enough to keep the advertisers bought in. You launch an official channel, which these days everything's an internet channel now, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
I would make my way. I'd like when the underdog grows and becomes actual competition for these shitty ass corporations.
Hmm. That's a good idea. That's a real good idea. If we had the way to do it, we could make a whole internet channel for all the bigots in the bigot verse. Everybody. That'd be fun.
I know when people go like bigots and bigot verse, they're trying to, they're laughing at it for one, but they're also trying to take the power back. Myself, I would take a more of a psyops approach to it. I would use a word to disarm them, like a word with a synergy to some of their own phrases.
Yeah, that's a better idea, I think. But I do think it'd be a lot of fun to do. I can't help it. That's what I know him as now.
Chair Spucker.
He will forever be known as the spear chucker guy.
Oh, okay. Ryan has been good to me, letting me, be a co-host on reality based. My complaint to that is it's kind of like you get like this much time to say anything, like that much time, and otherwise it's everybody talking over each other, and for the most part, nobody getting heard.
Well, I mean, it's a little it's hard to get everybody where they have time to speak in a 2-hour time frame, So I kind of get why he has to do it that way, but I see your point too.
Well, you get some other shows that are more relaxed. I mean, yeah, I get why he does it. I do. But you get some other shows that are more relaxed. I think the problem comes in is that he has like 8 or more people on screen at once. I think that's where the real issue comes in.
Well, if he had these harpy bitches on there, he'd never get a word in edgewise, because that's all they do is talk over each other and are awful.
Oh, I see. JJJ is typing on a phone. That does suck. I don't care for smartphones. They can be handy. They have their uses. GPS, playing music in a car, getting messages, important phone calls. Sure, they can be useful, but I still hate them. It's like, to me, this is my own take on it. It's like they're designed for chimpanzees.
I saw a video where they had a chimpanzee in a zoo and it had a phone.
You get people that do everything from their phone, a screen like this big, right? Like this big. And they're like, they're mad with, and they like watch movies on it. And I'm like, just get a fucking laptop or something.
Or a tablet.
Yeah, even that would be an improvement. I mean, I like tactile feel, I hate on screen controls of any type.
What's bad is when you get a vehicle and it's all touchscreen stuff. I hate that because it's like you can't tell what you're doing, and you got to glance at it, and it's distracting.
Well, okay. I've had older vehicles and I've had fairly newer ones, and like now they got touch screen shit, right? And you're trying to touch something and hitting bumps, going like,
yeah.
And if it was a fucking knob, you just you feel it. You could like blindly just reach over. Oh, there it is. Turn.
Yeah. But everything is getting to where it's
and and we're in the deep South, the country South. The roads, going down the road is
Yeah.
everywhere. Everywhere is like a safari ride.
Yep. You need a Jeep to get around down here, especially after it rains. That's why everybody here just about has a truck, because you can't get around if you don't. It's like going on safari just to go to the grocery store. But yeah, The View, I wish it would just get canceled already. That's a show that needs to be canceled, because all it does is spew hatred, and it keeps shit going. I mean, it just stirs up shit for the sake
Okay.
of it.
Just out of curiosity, Dax and JJJ, where do you live, or is it more country like or city like? I mean, I'm not expecting you to just like give me all your info, I'm just getting a general idea.
You know what? I wish the neighbors would quit creeping down in front of our house. I mean, dear God. So I just
when I say deep South, sure, there's more further southern places, but you get a lot of cities, and the city life is a whole different world than country life. It's entirely different.
Yeah. I mean, my God, you could hit a pothole and ruin the front end of your vehicle. I mean, like, it rips off, basically.
Dax is from California. Well, everybody here makes fun of Californians. It's just a general thing. They kind of make fun of Texans too, but they don't think Texans are soft or whatever. But everyone I've met has an ego like everything, and also they seem to think they're in the South. It's not. It's not at all. It's it's like it's West.
Yeah.
Which I don't get why everybody. You even talk to a UK person and they're like, Texas, oh yeah, that's the South. Where are they getting this?
I don't know. Well, yes, I do. Because Texas likes to tell the world that they're the South, and they're not.
And I'm not trying to roast you two. I'm just saying, in this part of the South, that's how they think of people from those states.
But I think there's well, my one of my relatives was stationed in Corpus Christi, Texas, and they said it was very nice over in Corpus Christi. But the further you go, like into the bush, basically, it gets really weird really fast. So
Well,
I mean, I don't know.
In my youth, I got in a lot of fights, more than you would believe. I was paid to fight a lot of times for that matter. And I'm not saying I'm a mighty man. I'm not. I'm delicate built, but I did fight a lot. And every Texan, they'd be all puffed up and like, oh, I'm from Texas. I'm like, is that supposed to fucking mean something? They just thought they just had such fucking egos. It was retarded.
Well, the people that we've ran into that were from Texas were idiots,
But I'm not saying I'm not stereotyping Texans. I'm just saying my experience with a handful of them.
Yeah, the ones we just happened to meet were.
If I really wanted to roast a state, it would be California.
Oh no, I don't think the whole state's like that. I mean, because
not the whole state, but probably 99.9%. I don't know. I would imagine.
I mean, I would think the more urban areas would be like San Francisco and LA and places like that. That's what I think. And then, because California is a big place, and I'm sure they got,
Well,
you know.
as for people associating Texas with the South, maybe Texans don't, I don't know, but I would imagine it's because of the whole cowboy, the cowboy boots, the cowboy hat, which in the South you actually don't get many people doing that. There's not people walking around in cowboy hats, cowboy boots.
That is true, but I think that's because of the climate. If you get to wearing a cowboy hat here, you'll burn up, and that's the truth. You'll be sweating so bad you'll be able to swim in your own
The
sweat.
last time I seen a couple of men in cowboy hats and cowboy boots, I went up to them and I asked them if they come from Brokeback Mountain. And these are some big fuckers too. These they stood way over me.
I remember that.
That had to have been 20 years ago.
I remember that. Well, I do know that a lot of times if you have horses and stuff like that and you ride horses, you want cowboy boots because it helps you keep your feet in the stirrups when you're riding. But
so that's why pregnant women wear them.
What?
Oh, you didn't get that one?
Mm-mm.
When they're in labor, they have to put their feet in stirrups.
Oh, good Lord. That's awful.
Okay, I'm going to go on to the next topic.
Okay.
Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, how I hate reading this news, but they just keep on. 2025 Monster Manual gender swaps dryads and hags and turns the incubus and succubus into transgender creatures.
What?
Yeah, look at that thing. Look at those two things. Look at that.
Oh my God.
It's like, whoa, let me get my axe.
No, get some damn fire. Kill that thing with fire.
The 2025 Monster Manual is the final book for the trilogy of core books. New D&D editions and Wizard of the Coast has already revealed gender swapping of traditional monsters like dryads and hags, as well as transgender succubus and... Shouldn't that be succubi? I don't know. But anyway, succubus and incubus monsters in a new promotional video. The rest of this I've already covered in several previous videos, so I'm not going to go over it yet again. I still worry about that little fucking kid under that rock with that giant ass orc. That shit gonna break and crush that fucking kid.
There's 3 kids under there.
3, okay, yeah. Damn. Death by fat bitch.
Ain't that the damn truth?
Death by Mexican orc.
Oh my Lord. I wish they would just...
BIPOC. That just sounds like a disease to me. Oh, you call it BIPOC.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a long ass video, so I'm just gonna play a moment of it, a real quick glimpse.
We have the new core rule books, and this is the final of the new core rule books. It's the Monster Manual. This was my gateway into D&D as a kid, looking through the monsters, absorbing all this information over time. So tell me what's new in the new Monster Manual.
Everything.
The level of gayness irradiating from that man.
Yeah, I didn't really want to say anything because I was trying to be nice.
That motherfucker broke my gaydar.
Oh, God. Oh, my Lord. I just don't even. I just, why? Why do they do these things? Why do they constantly put this DEI crap out there for everybody? I mean, D&D will never be the same. It will never be able to recover.
I take it as those 2 men who are over these changes. Clearly, they have an agenda. Clearly, okay, you can be gay and not have an agenda. You can. It's been done in the past, but it doesn't seem to be done anymore. It seems like if you are part of that community, you're going to have an agenda that you're going to be pushing through. Wizard of the Coast developers Jeremy Crawford and F. Wesley Snyder. I'm trying not to fuck names up. I get on here and I fuck names up constantly. Once it gets to the 47-minute mark, I'm not about to watch all that. The designers start to reveal changes to the monsters in the game. You can see some monsters are very similar to what you saw in 2014, and others it's been reimagined in a variety of ways, Kendrick said. In the Dryad painting, you now see a male Dryad and a female Dryad, whereas unless I'm mistaken, there were no male Dryads previously. I could be wrong on that, but I don't believe so. The developer spoke on changing Dryads, which in Greek mythology always took the form of a young woman.
I just can't even begin to think of D&D the same anymore.
D&D as a hobby will outlast this crap, but Wizards of the Coast is lost to the Rainbow Mafia. I agree. Way back when it was still, it wasn't even 3rd edition yet. I'm thinking late 80s. I hung with a group of people who made their own game, and they, fully made, from start to finish. And they named it Cyborg, which back then that was a unheard of word. It was a rarely known word. It wasn't common knowledge or whatever. But it beat the fuck out of anything that D&D ever put out. For that matter, they were all artists, and they drew, better in some cases than a lot of this D&D art, especially today with it's all AI. Okay, hags now can be aunties or uncles, grannies or grandpies. What?
Not grandpies.
What?
It's grampies.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about? What the fuck was that? I'm sorry.
I'm not making it up. That's what it is.
Even if it is Grampies, who the fuck says that?
Nobody.
Grandpies.
Grandpa.
Kendrick followed up, of which the creature has always been traditionally a wizened old woman or fairy with the appearance of an old woman. Then he gets into a transgender agenda with changes to succubus, a traditionally female character, and incubus, a traditionally male character, which now are two sides of the same creature which can swap gender at will. Then why don't they fuck themselves?
That's what I was wondering. Okay, why in the world would they need to go after anybody else when they can just fuck themselves? I mean, cut out the middleman,
They'd rather fuck the middleman.
Oh, God.
Look at this picture, right? They're trying to be androgynous.
That's AI done.
Probably so. I mean, they did say that. Oh, they did AI art. People complained, and they came with, "We're sorry, we're not gonna do it again." Some time passed, and then they announced, "Going forward, our art will be AI art," and they've embraced it, and they're not apologizing for it anymore. So, fuck them.
Well, it's just putting artists like me out of work.
God damn, I'm so glad I don't have these people in front of me.
You'd be in prison.
Yeah, I would be. I control my anger these days, but this kind of shit, I'm triggered.
Oh, God. We'd have to start a GoFundMe account to get you bail money.
There's somewhere in me, I'm triggered, but there's a large part of me that's just laughing too. I think this shit is hilarious. what's sad is it's real, and people are embracing it, and so on.
Yeah.
Kendrick said, "We've also reimagined the succubus, succubus and incubus, rather than having this." Yeah, I think I already read that. Either that or the shit's repeating itself. The succubus and incubus, and I still think it wouldn't be succubi and incubi plural.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
See, D&D people used to pay, especially good attention to such details as that. They were fucking nerds like everything. You've seen them. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
They would have a breakdown freak out if you got a word wrong like that, wouldn't they?
Yes.
Or just one of many examples, he concludes, implying there are more changes to monsters that will add gender ideology into the mix for the 2025 Monster Manual.
Oh.
All the hate for straight white males and political correct shit got hot and heavy when Obama became president. Okay, when Obama was president. Should I tell the story?
Yes, tell it. You have to tell it or I'm going to tell it.
Obama was visiting Mississippi, and I had devised a plan. I stayed drunk a lot then. I mean, heavily, like every day of the week, 24/7. And I devised a plan. He'd visit Mississippi, and I was going to get in there, and I was going to ask him if he was going to build a porch on the White House. I was also going to ask him if his lips and ears smack him to death when he sticks his head out the window.
Yeah.
But when I got to the gates to get in, they decided I was a risk, and they wouldn't let me in.
Yeah, they didn't even talk to us or anything. They just wouldn't let us in.
The only other thing I have to add to that is the Obama years are a great blur to me. Those barely a memory, like a fuzzy dream at best.
Gee, I wonder why.
I know I had a lot of bitches. I know that.
Yeah.
Too many. I mean, goddamn, at any point in time, I had 4 fighting over me.
Well, hell, we couldn't go to the town over because of the bitches.
Not those kind of bitches on screen. Not those kind.
No, no. But yeah, when they do stuff like this, and every time I hear about them taking classic things like D&D and all that stuff, and they twist it and make it into this monstrosity, and they act like we're the problem if we don't want to have anything to do with it. That's bullshit.
Dax here says they took one look at Noise and said, "This guy is definitely gonna call him a porch monkey." Okay, this was
surprised.
How many years ago? 20? I don't remember. It was a long time ago, right? I was a lot younger, healthier looking then. I looked more fit, more full. I was a lot meaner. I really was. I was a whole lot meaner. And I was a bouncer. So, yeah, they probably had some thoughts about me.
Well, I was already devising a way to get bail money because I knew you was going to go to federal prison.
I've changed a lot since then. I'm a wholly different person now.
Yeah, that is true.
But yeah, I was definitely going to do that. That was my full-on plan.
Yeah, they took one look at you and said, yeah, we can't let him in here. But that was funny, though. And let's see. I wonder if we could start a petition to get The View canceled.
There probably already exists one.
Well, that's something I'm going to look into to see if there's a petition to get The View canceled. Because them harpy bitches has went on for long enough. I'm tired of hearing them. I mean, really. Somebody needs to do something.
I'm looking up something real quick.
Oh, and everybody, there's supposed to be a snowstorm come through here Friday. So I hope
Okay.
we don't have to go without power for a few days.
I'm gonna show you what I looked like back then.
Yep. Yep, that's you.
Technically, now I think about it, technically that was 10 years ago. But the time I'm speaking of was a little bit further back. That was me 10 years ago.
You look like you about to put the hurt on somebody. Yeah. And that's why the Secret Service people didn't let us in to see Obama. But
On the next topic here. The DCU has just provided the first glimpse of their Batman, and it perfectly sets up a dream casting for the character with Alan Richson. This is the motherfucker that plays in it was a good TV show. It was a good TV show, but this man came out with some heavy political leanings not too long ago. Showed himself to be a real liberal douche. However, while DC Studios remains tight-lipped and careful in their slow approach, one actor has spoken out of their desire to play the role. Alan Richson, an actor who is no stranger to DC projects, played various roles. The hero has been portrayed as a large and physically opposing and bulky figure. Historically speaking, Batman has not been shown that way. That's just been more of a recent development.
yeah, I always thought he was more supposed to look more streamlined.
Look at that man. Could you see him as Bruce Wayne or Batman? Not me. I don't see it. While discussing his career and future, The Hollywood Reporter, Alan Richson revealed that his dream DC role would be to play Batman in the DCU. In fact, the actor gushed about his love for the character, highlighting his favorite parts of Batman and how he very much wants the opportunity to play the hero on the big screen. Could be the perfect fit for DCU's Batman. I just don't see it. Not to mention his acting skill. He's 6'3". And yeah, the Reacher was the show. The Reacher wasn't a bad show. A little dry, his acting was a little dry, but ultimately it was an all right show. But he is a liberal douche. And I just don't see him right for that role. From 2005 to 2010, he played as Arthur Curry, aka Aquaman, in Smallville. Between 2018 and 2021, he tackled the role of Hank Hall, aka Hawk, in Titans. So he's played DC hero roles previously.
I remember him in Smallville, and he did play a pretty good Aquaman. But for Batman, I don't know. I don't get it.
Hey, here, Zack Snart says definitely more imposing than Pattinson. No offense to him. Okay. Yes, he is more imposing. But you got to think Batman as a whole, not recent Batman, not, they're trying to make them all, all this. He doesn't. He may be more imposing, no doubt about that. But, Bruce Wayne is supposed to be a rich boy and socialite and charming and, not this hulking figure. Now, his height in the comics seems like it was 6'1" or 6'2", so that's close enough. But I don't think the face looks right. I don't think his acting's right, and I think he's too muscular for it. Batman's not supposed to be that muscle bound, just really, really fit, muscles, but not hulking muscles.
Question. Do you think he would have made a better Punisher?
Again, I don't think his acting skill or face would have been right for it.
Mm.
Also, Punisher wasn't known for being big and bulky and all like that either.
Yeah, that is true. I'm just trying to think what he might fit better doing.
So, I think my audience is saying from that picture I look crazy as fuck.
Yeah, you kind of did.
Could I have been Batman?
No, no,
Hairy Batman back when my hair was more full.
no, Sabretooth.
Well, see, I'm not that big of a person. I'm only like 5'10", and kind of slender built, for that matter. Shit, I'm closer than your average man. I'm closer to how a woman's built, but that just means I've had to fight harder. That just means I had to been meaner, work harder, and everything else. So that don't mean I'm woman like it. No, fuck no.
You'd have been a Sabretooth. Yeah. I think so.
See what this man has to say. I hesitate to say man because you never know what you're getting yourself into now. You just don't know.
This is a nerdy deep cut questions about future stuff though, because there's a flash forward we see with all the heroes of the DC universe. I recognize that Superman suit. We've seen it. But there's also other heroes like Batman and stuff. So I would just love to know, did you already consider these are sort of designs for future projects, or is this
some of them? Okay. Some of them, yes. And some of them, listen, we had to take an educated guess. We have a lot of steps to go through with some of the characters, and other of the characters we've kind of designed. So yes, some of them are kind of an educated guess. I wouldn't take everything as.
He has a bit of a nose obsession now, doesn't he?
He's tweaking.
Maybe he's doing some of that nose candy.
If you see certain characters, I'm not going to take that every single one of them is going to look like that in their.
Also a little limp wristed there.
Physical incarnations down the road, but it's not far off.
I didn't pay any attention to what he just said. Honestly, I didn't. I couldn't get past that whole all this, and all this.
Yeah, he's a tweaker. Or he looks like a tweaker anyway.
I'm running out of things to cover. I could always dig up a few more things, but we can just talk for a little bit. That picture was actually from 10 years ago. I have some going back 20 years. There's not much difference. I mean, up to 35, I looked the same from 15 to 35. I looked about the exact same.
Yeah. Only difference is you got a little bit broader.
Oh, technically up to 37, which I'm like 47 now.
Yeah. I mean,
and I've learned to be more social. I've learned to be more ease with things. I used to have a temper like a motherfucker. I would literally knock somebody out if they looked at me wrong.
Yeah, I know.
That particular picture, I took it myself.
I forgot where we were going.
But back then, I just got out of the dentist. And that was then. I just went to the dentist yesterday, but 10 years ago, I just got out then for that picture. But anyway, back then, people would ask me for my autograph, and I'd go, I don't know who you think I am, but okay, I guess I'll sign something.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
There'd be people was like, I seen you in this movie or magazine or band. And I'll be like, I'm not who you think I am. I did get an offer to become a model when I was in my early 20s, but I couldn't do it. I had little kids and I had a lot going on in family life, and I couldn't do it. It was a goth model offer, actually. They wanted to fly me out by helicopter to Florida.
Yeah, for Hot Topic. I remember that. They wanted you to be a model for Hot Topic. Because you resembled the Brandon Lee in The Crow.
I used to.
But now we're old as fuck.
I'm curious there. I can't say nothing though because I look crazy my damn self. DBZ Scowl. I take that Dragon Ball Z. Like I said, I'm not up with the lingo. DBZ Scowl and eyebrows. I'm curious now.
Well, you know.
I know what Daxnar looks like. He's like that big and furry, right?
But I don't know. Older and wiser, I suppose. Not as quick to jump on somebody's head.
Yeah, I was damn quick about it. That's why, I was always paid to fight other people and paid as a bodyguard. And back then, I'm a whole different person now, but back then they also wanted me to be in a martial arts tournament, and I didn't do it because it was point based and I really wanted to hurt people. But that's not me anymore. I've changed greatly due to forbidden plants.
Well, anything, with age, a lot of time comes wisdom. And if you could go back and use the wisdom that you gain when you get older in your youth.
The youth is wasted on the young.
Yep.
Because you're young, dumb, full of cum, don't know what you're doing, get it all wrong when you have the energy and the looks. And you're just going wide open, fucking up. And then you get older and it's like, everything clicks now, but fuck it. I've done that. I can't do it again. Nobody wants me.
Well, to be honest, if you were younger nowadays.
He says, I always look pissed off. I could be thinking of puppies and rainbows and still look mad. That describes me when I was younger.
Yeah, it did. You always looked mad, even when you weren't. It's like, why are you mad? I'm not mad.
If I were to go over my resume, so to speak, I've briefly been in a band. Ever so briefly. I've been a roadie and a band manager. I've been a bouncer, a bodyguard, martial artist. I did computer repair, sold computer stuff for a little bit there. What else?
Oh God, let me see.
Tech support, customer care.
They accused you of being a robot on the phone.
Oh yeah, they did. Every time I talked to one of those Hindu motherfuckers, I remember one time in particular, I got on there and I was trying to be, professional and calm. And he goes, "Are you making fun of me? You're making fun of me." And I'm going, no, I'm not. This Hindu motherfucker just threw this massive fit over the phone. You could hear shit banging around and everything, just hung up on me.
Good. Oh Lord. Let's see. What else have you done?
And I don't know what to call them. I don't, do they call them Indians or, I just call them Hindu. That way there's no confusion. But these days they'd probably say, "Oh, I'm anti whatever for that. I'm a bigot. I'm a blah blah blah. Some kind of ist."
Well, I think it is Hindu. I'm not real sure. I've
done all kinds of grunt work, like working in furniture factories, worked in a steel mill, did wood siding, did painting. You name it, go down the list. I've probably done it.
Yeah. But what do you think was your worst job?
Probably a steel mill. It was ran by Japanese people, and I had like the short days were 18 hours long,
Yeah.
and they also didn't believe in breaks.
Well, it's the Japanese. I mean, they hang nets on their factories to keep their workers from jumping out the window. So I can't remember everything you've done. I'm trying to sit here and think.
Oh shit, I can't remember either.
Oh God, that's bad when you can't remember either. I don't know.
Well, you were a singer for years.
That is very true. That is true. I sang in let's see, a rockabilly band. Oh, I don't want to call the other ones a metal band because that wasn't what it was. But and I've sang in a reggae band for the longest. That was a lot of fun. You ended up having to keep the lesbians back because they would try to storm the stage.
You know, I run into these young people now, right? People in their, say, 20 to 30. And they're speaking their slang. They act like they got their shit down. They're looking at you like you're a complete fucking dummy. You never lived. You never experienced things. And they got it down. It's like, motherfucker, talk about been there, done there, did it better. You want to talk about where what I know and where I've been? I don't know where to start, and I don't know where to end. So you need to just shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down because you're playing a kid's game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hell, you've forgotten more stuff than they'll ever know.
And in the end, the conclusion is it's foolish. It is all child's play.
Yeah, it is. Because you're older for a lot longer than you are younger. And sometimes it's good to sit back and reminisce about things like that and stories you tell your children and stuff like that. But in the end, your children rarely listen to you because they think you're a dumbass. It's like, you little shit, I have forgotten more than you can ever fathom.
All these young people, they think if you're like, I don't know, 40 or over, like you're just an idiot and you can't possibly know anything. It's like I said, like I've been there, done that, did it better. So you need to shut the fuck up, sit the fuck down.
Shit, my great grandmother was out riding go-karts and riding horses when she was 80.
All right, I think since we're out of material for the moment, or anything I'm willing to do, I think we'll wrap this up. And I thank everybody for joining. Somewhere around, I have a donation. I have a bot advertising for me for one, and I have a link in. I don't know if it's in this video, but in other videos I do. Of course, you don't have to donate, but it's always good to get an appreciation in that format. I'll be on reality-based Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays.
Yeah.
And I do my own stream Wednesdays and Mondays. I don't know if I've nailed down if I'm dedicated to those days. I may change it up. I haven't fully decided yet. But if I do, I'll like post an update or something. Let's see. Anything else we got coming up?
I hope we're not going to be without power.
Oh yeah. Where we're at, we'll probably get snowed in. Possibly like an ice storm. Who knows? I mean, it happens every few years. And when we do, sometimes we end up without power for a solid month. The worst time I ever that I've encountered is one time I had no power, no water, no gas for 2 months in the freezing cold. Ice, the roads were iced over, the fucking doors of the vehicles were froze shut. Anyway, I don't foresee it being that bad, but there's a chance we could lose power and all such. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But providing that doesn't happen, You'll see me on Reality Based as well as on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Well, we thank everybody for watching, and we hope you all have a good night.
She ain't finna lick nothing over here, so I don't care if she is a lesbian. That's her business.
That's just a message to that community. Okay, everybody, thanks for joining in, and we are out. Keep bringing the noise.
Your fumes can fuck off, you non-binary bitch. Telling everyone we're wrong while you sexualize kids. Keep your pronouns in your pants, this ain't the time or place. Unless you think you can dance, I'll punch that confused face. My pronoun is pimp. The heavens proclaim.